my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Yet again I forgot to film an intro, so I'm just popping in future me saying welcome to my channel, welcome to this video. Today we are going to be finishing every series I am currently in the middle of, well, trying to do my best. This is like the third or fourth installment in this kind of series at the moment, so I feel like we know what we're in for, but nevertheless I hope you enjoy. I had a super intense but very fun week reading, and I'm not going to ramble on about nothing, so let's just get started. So I'm currently reading The Austere Academy, which is the 5th book in the Series of Unfortunate Events series. This is a reread for me. It's just like a childhood favorite series for me, and I've just been really like feeling like a reread recently. I absolutely love the way Lemony Snicket writes. I think he is a genius. There's something about his writing that just captures me every single time. And I won't be talking about this one very much at all because like it's a reread, it's a children's series. I don't know if you guys are actually interested in hearing about this, but it is technically a series I'm in the middle of and I'm continuing at the moment, so I thought I'd include it just a little bit. And it's a good refresher. Like I feel like these books and rereads for me are just refreshers. Instead of going to like a chick flick sometimes, I just need a cute little reread that feels like home to me. Like this is just so sentimental to me. I'm about 60 pages into this at the moment, really enjoying it. Like it's fun. Basically, if you don't know what a series of unfortunate events is about, which you should, definitely should, and the show is incredible as well. We are following the Baudelaire orphans. They are 3 siblings who lost their parents in a very tragic house fire, and they have left them this massive fortune, but the fortune can't be accessed until Violet, the oldest of the siblings, is of age. So until she's 18, she's only 14 at the moment. They go into the care of Count Olaf, who is their like closest known living relative. And all he wants is their fortune. That's the only reason he's taking care of them. They escape his clutches first in the first book, and then he kind of just keeps following them around and creating very unfortunate things to happen in their lives. It's very entertaining, if I'm going to be honest. Anyway, this is a little palate cleanser for now. But for the rest of the video, I have a few kind of books on the horizons at the moment. So first of all, I just finished Glow of the Everflame, which is the second book to Spark of the Everflame. I am obsessed with this series. I loved Glow of the Everflame so much. Like this series, like it makes me feel something. I love the way the author writes. This is a fantasy romance series, if you don't know, by the way. It is enemies to lovers and it is a slow burn. It is a slow burn. And do you know how much I've been craving a slow burn romantasy? I swear to God, every romantasy these days, like within the first book, they're like boom together. Like, no, I love like a slow burn across series. That is what I want. That is what I love. Like the small interactions just mean so much more to me. So anyway, I am loving that, and I could technically go into the third book. The reason I am hesitant about that is because it is over 1,000 pages long. That isn't the longest book I've ever read, but it is definitely close. It's longer than Kingdom of Ash, and that's telling you something. Like that means it's long. So anyway, that's on the possibilities. I then have Kingdom of Copper, which is the second book to City of Brass. This is a little bit shorter. I think this is about 600 pages. I really like City of Brass. I'm very intrigued by this one. I definitely want to read it soon. I know that a lot of people say this gets like so much better. It just makes the trilogy so much better. So I'm definitely intrigued to go into this one, and I feel like, and from the ending of City of Brass, like I feel like a lot could happen in this one. We also have Escaping from Houdini. This is the third book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I am loving this series. It's so fun and different. Basically, Stalking Jack the Ripper, every book in the series is kind of based around a true event. So obviously like the first one, Jack the Ripper was a real person, Houdini was a real person, but the characters and kind of events surrounding that key person or plot are fictional. So it's technically like a little bit of true stuff in there, a little bit of true crime in there, but the majority of it is fictional. And we also set in like the 1800s. So it kind of almost gives like Bridgerton vibes, but with like full-on mystery and a little bit of romance and definitely a little bit of action. Like just, it's fun. It's really fun. So that is something I definitely want to get to as well. So we'll see how we go. But for now, I'm going to go read Series of Unfortunate Events and probably just finish this one because it's very little. And I'll update you when I have. It's the next day and it is in the afternoon. I have had a migraine all day. Actually, I only just sat down and then I had a little nap. I'm feeling a tiny bit better now, so I'm going to read a little bit more. I did read this morning. I have pretty much finished The Austere Academy by Lemony Snicket. Loved it. Easy, fun, like it was the perfect kind of read that I needed, honestly. I could just like speed through it. I did a poll on my Instagram because I was like, I genuinely do not know what series I want to continue right now. I just finished Glow of the Everflame like the other day. Heat of the Everflame is 1,000 pages. I'm also up to the Third Crescent City. That's almost 900 pages. I'm also up to Hero of Ages in the Mistborn series. That's like, I think that's 900 pages. I also put Kingdom of Copper, which I talked to you about before. I also put the Zodiac Academy. Now, if you know me, you know that I read the first book in the Zodiac Academy and did not like it. My hair's still wet, by the way, which is why it looks like this. But I read the first book in the Zodiac Academy and did not like it. Just wasn't for me. I mainly just found it cringy and that kind of stuff, and that just made it really hard for me to read. There was also a few tropes that I really felt uncomfortable reading about. Do I want to give it another chance? I feel like I should. I feel like it's such a loved series. I really don't know, and I want to start one now. Maybe I'll make a tea, and then by the time I get back, I'll decide. I think it's definitely between Heat of the Everflame and Zodiac Academy 2. It's just the 1,000 pages. I'll either start Heat of the Everflame, or if I really am too scared to commit to that, but also like, when is a better time? Like, I just finished the second book. I can just go into it, and like, I'm always going to be scared of 1,000 pages. That's a lot. That's a lot to commit to. It is obviously later in the night. My headache is going a little bit, but it's still there. I did decide on what to read. With the help of you guys, I put a poll up on my story. Just put all my options up. So the 3 options I put up, did I tell you this already? I think I told you this already. Yeah, no, I did. So the poll was very much favoring Zodiac Academy and Heat of the Everflame. I kind of guessed that it would be Zodiac Academy. I didn't really guess that as many of you would want me to read Heat of the Everflame. And I'm not gonna lie, that kind of gave me the little bit of confidence, like that little boost of confidence that I needed to read it, to jump into it. So we did choose Heat of the Everflame. I'm trying to ignore the fact that this is 1,000 pages because like, I don't want that to stop me reading a book that I may and probably will enjoy. I did see some of the reviews on like Goodreads as I was downloading it that said it's really slow, and even though like they loved the first few books, like it was really slow. So I'm kind of nervous about that one, but you know, that's okay. I'll just see what my opinion is. I actually already have a little bit of an opinion. 84 pages in. This is 8% through. Anyway, I am enjoying it so far. I will say it was a little bit of a slow start and a little bit of a confusing start. Like I kind of had to, even though I only just finished the second one the other day, I'm going to put this in night mode, I think. I was a little bit confused as to where we stood. I don't know whether that was me. Sometimes at the end of books, I tend to like rush them because I'm just excited to finish them and see where the story ends. And I most likely did that in Glow of the Everflame. But yeah, anyway, we'll see how this one goes. I am just going to try and read as much as possible tonight. My brain hasn't been working too well, but I think, you know, whatever. We'll just try and read as much as possible. Basically, we are set in a world where there are mortal and descended. So mortal are obviously like humans with no magic, and the descended are people with magical abilities. There is such a good enemies to lovers, but slow burn enemies to lovers. And that is what, if we're talking love stories, that is what I love most about this series. Like the slow burn is so good. I love a good slow burn. This gives me the feels of when I read like ACOTAR for the first time. Like that's the same kind of feeling I'm getting when I'm reading this, and that is such a unique feeling. Like that does not just come around in every fantasy series. That is why I'm just like loving it and really wanting to continue it. And despite the fact that it's a long book, just pretending that doesn't exist. Like we're just gonna read it. We're just gonna see how I like it. I'm hoping my Kindle case will come during this vlog as well. I ordered one. This is my newer Kindle. I kindly got gifted it from Amazon. We didn't have the Colour Soft in Australia yet, but this is the newest one in Australia. And it's like this stunning jade green color. So liking being back in this world, like already, I'm kind of glad I picked it up just after finishing the second book. Like, I don't know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I think it's going to be fun. And I think it's better I pick it up now than later. Like I'm in the mood for it. I am such a mood reader. If I wasn't going to be in the mood for it, this would be a drag. I put my Christmas tree up the other day, and it is literally making me so happy because in my opinion, Christmas starts on the 1st of November. Like I just think 20 days in December, 25 days is not long enough to celebrate Christmas, and Christmas is my favorite holiday. So we're celebrating it as early as possible. And it's actually cold enough to still be wearing sweaters here. So that's a nice change as well. But yeah, just a tiny little Christmas tree. I'm actually on the floor, but like a tiny little Christmas tree for our tiny little apartment. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a little update because I have read quite a bit. Look, I feel like I've read a lot, but when I look at the percentage, it makes me really sad. So I've read 252 pages, like a decent amount. I am 24% in. The good thing, it's going really fast. Like I'm finding it really easy to binge it. I don't know why. I think because I went straight from the second one to this one, it's just become like super easy to kind of immerse myself back in the world and just, I don't know, get lost in. So I'm really liking that. I will say, I do see how it could be slow. Because I've binged it, I feel like it's good. But if I were reading like 20 pages at a time, I feel like I would be struggling to get through it. It's definitely like not a lot has happened. so far. Honestly, not a lot has happened. We've just kind of tailed on from the last book. So yeah, if I was reading it a lot slower, I think I would be a little bit bored, but right now I'm really liking it. So I'm glad I'm in the mood to just like binge read. I'm about to get into bed and hopefully I'll just read another like 50 to 100 pages hopefully, see how tired I get. But liking it so far. I will say our main protagonist is really annoying us. Deem, I think you pronounce her name. She is really annoying me. Just some of the decisions she's making, but I can kind of look past that because all the other characters are so great, especially our male love interest. Like Luther is amazing. I love him so much. And even our like side characters I really like. They're just really fun to have around and like all very like, they have really good energy about them, really good like characteristics, and it makes it really enjoyable to read, and I'm definitely like laughing out loud at times when they're in the scenes. So overall I am really enjoying it. I feel like I'm a decent way in, but I'm only a tiny bit. I'm hoping I can just read as much as possible over the next few days. I feel like this is a good time for me to be reading such a big book. Sorry I keep going on about how big it is. It's just this is the longest book I have read since Kingdom of Ash, I think. Yeah, I think that was my longest one previously. Not my longest one ever, but yeah, definitely very long. Anyway, so we're still, this is longer than Kingdom of Ash though. This is a few pages longer. So we're still going, still seeing how we are. I'll be curious to see how many pages it actually is when it's traditionally published because it might be like different paper. I'm gonna go keep reading now and I'll update you tomorrow morning. So it's the next day and I am definitely getting a good way in. So I am at page 500 of Heat of the Everflame and I am 49% in. I just can't believe how far in I am and how little progress it looks like I'm making. I do know I am making progress. Like I'm proud of myself for getting this far in. And I am really enjoying it. The only thing I will say is it's quite slow moving. Like whilst I am addicted and whilst I like, this hasn't been a challenge to get through at all. Like I'm happily reading. It is quite slow moving and I do think a little bit more could be happening a little bit faster because when I go to update you, I really don't have much to update you on apart from that it kind of feels the same. I will say there is this one thing that Luther just needs to get off his chest and I can tell it, we all can tell it, our main protagonist is being stupid and can't see it, but we can all tell it and I just need it to happen. It's taken 3 books for her to realize this and I just want her to realize this. So anyway, I really want that to happen. I'm kind of getting annoyed at her. I'm also hoping that my Kindle case will arrive soon because I keep getting little bits of hair caught in here. But honestly, apart from that, I don't have too much more of an update. I just, like, I'm enjoying it. It's good. Hopefully I'll get a good chunk of it read tonight as well. At least make it to like maybe 60, I guess that's another 100 pages. I've read about 60 today, so if I can read another 100 pages, that would be great. Make it to 60%. I definitely don't think I'll be finishing it today or tomorrow, but if we can finish it soon, that's great. That's really great. I kind of put aside like a week to finish this, like, because it's so much bigger than what I usually read. And I have no idea. I have no idea what I'll be reading next. Like, honestly, maybe the Zodiac Academy, because that was very highly voted. The votes in the end were so close, by the way. I think they were about 20 apart, but there was like 200 each vote. So I know that you guys want me to continue the Zodiac Academy. And so I'm going to try and like get my, I don't know, confidence up to try and do that. I'm a little bit scared. Not gonna lie, that I'm not gonna like it and I'm gonna let you all down. Or maybe I'll go into something very light. I don't know. Maybe that'll be for the next vlog. We'll see. It's later in the night and in all honesty, I haven't read that much more of Heat of the Everflame. I kind of fell asleep while I was reading. So I haven't really got that much to update on Heat of the Everflame, but I have been doing some stuff this afternoon and I kind of thought, what better way to do stuff than to listen to an audiobook? Now, I don't listen to many audiobooks. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm a very big podcast girl. Like, I love a good true crime podcast or something like that. So when I'm getting ready in the morning or when I'm like doing chores around the house, I'll often listen to a podcast instead of an audiobook. But I've been trying to listen to more audiobooks because like that means more reading getting done. So I've started an audiobook for the next book I'm in the middle of. And I was going to go with a fantasy book. I was actually going to go with Zodiac Academy, but I don't have Audible at the moment. I just have Spotify because Spotify has so many like audiobooks on it. And they don't have Zodiac Academy on Spotify, which made me very sad, but like there wasn't much I could do about that. I've decided that I'm going to continue that series, but that'll definitely be in the next vlog when and I'll just read it on my Kindle. So it is exactly 9 p.m. now, and I've done a little bit more reading tonight, not a lot, but I started Escaping from Houdini. So this is the third book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, and I started this on audiobook. I'm also like, but just whilst I'm reading Heat of the Everflame, I'll listen to this, and then hopefully once I start it, like reading it physically, I'll be a good amount in. I love like going back and forth between audio and physical book. I don't know why. This is also really immersive audiobook, which is really fun. I haven't listened to any of this series on audio before. I didn't know it was on premium, and like there's like soundtracks to it and stuff. It's very fun. Whilst I am only a few chapters into this, I am getting such good vibes from this. So the first book in the series, Stalking Jack the Ripper, set in the 1800s, and our main protagonist, Audrey Rose, all she wants to do is be a forensic, I don't know what it's called, forensic like examiner, forensic examiner, I think that's what they're called. So you examine bodies after death. Anyway, that's what she's wanted to do, except it's the 1800s, so of course she's not allowed to do that. So she kind of does that undercover. This is all in the first book, like all in the first kind of few chapters. And she tries to help solve these mysteries surrounding. And then all these similar deaths start turning up, and it's like Jack the Ripper. So that book does have some like true events, like from the real Jack the Ripper case, but the storyline around it, the characters around it, they're all fictional. And it's just a really like easy, like fun mystery kind of read. I really, really enjoyed it. The second one is called what's it called? I think Hunting Prince Dracula. And that one I didn't love as much. We're set at an academy. It's very like gothic. It was good, but I just wasn't as invested in the mystery. However, I feel like I'm going to really like this one. This is giving Now You See Me vibes. If you have seen that movie, it's one of my all-time favorite movies, and it's giving those vibes. They're one of the like main magicians. So basically in this one, we're set on a cruise ship, which that like forced proximity type situation, like with mysteries, is #1 amazing. I love that kind of, because like you've only got a select amount of people that can actually have done it. Like the main magician on this ship, his name is Mr. Mistopheles. Okay, so this is like my little theater nerd coming out of me, but if you have watched Cats, the musical, the black cat is called Mr. Mistopheles, and all I can think about is the like song that plays for him in the musical when I read about this guy, because he's a magician. I have been listening to my audiobook while I've been playing Animal Crossing. I do not play Animal Crossing very much, as much as I probably should because I bought the game. I play it now and then, and it's a fun little cozy game. I just have a really short attention span. I can read for hours on end, but when it comes to games, I can only play for like half an hour max. I don't know why. The two games I rotate between are Hogwarts Legacy and Animal Crossing, but obviously it's kind of hard to play Hogwarts Legacy while listening to an audiobook, but Animal Crossing is really, really easy to play whilst listening to an audiobook, so I highly recommend that. I'm not a pro or anything. I'm like at the most basic, still at the most basic level, even though I bought this like earlier in the year. Yeah, I haven't really progressed very much because I don't play it very much, so I'll probably get into bed now and just read for a while. That's my plan. It is the next day. I think it's the next day. I can't remember when I last updated you. I've got a bowl of popcorn here. I am nearing the end, and I'm absolutely convinced in myself, I believe in myself, that I can finish this by tonight. Like a little bit to do this afternoon, but not a crazy amount. So hopefully I can read like all into the night and try and finish it. So I am at page 808, which is 79% through. And I am just convinced like I need to finish this. Like I'm enjoying it. It's a good time. But like, I need to finish it. It's a very long book. Like there's a lot happening. There's a lot of action. Like there's kind of no resting. So like, it's definitely easy to get through for me. And I saw a lot of comments being like, it was really slow moving for me. And I don't think it's been too slow moving. I think the only thing that's annoying me is the main protagonist. But like most people say, you just have to look past her. Like you do. Apart from that, it's okay. Also, I finally got my Kindle case and I decorated it. And I got a little heart pop socket. I wanted a clear case because it's a beautiful green color and I wanted to show that off. But yeah, anyway, I'm very obsessed with it. Like it's just made me want to read it more. I do feel like this is going to leave on a cliffhanger, and I'm kind of hoping that something more, like I feel like there's been lots of little things happening, and I'm kind of waiting for something bigger, like just to like really build up to that. And like if it's just a lot of little things, like it's going to be a good book. But I'll kind of almost just, what did I just read, if you know what I mean? Definitely not a 5 stars, but it's definitely going to be like 4, mid 4, something like that. kind of in... I'm gonna keep reading. So it is the next day, and yesterday I definitely completed my challenge of finishing Heat of the Everflame. It took me, what, 4 days? 5 days maybe to finish that book. So I'm actually quite proud of myself considering how dense it was, how many pages it was. I am very like torn on a rating. I kind of don't know whether... Hi. I feel like I'm leaning towards a 4.5. Like, I just think it was very dragged out, and it could have been like, there's some scenes definitely could have been cut, but it was really, really good. And I thought it was like, that ending was not okay. Like, it's not okay. And the fact that the next book isn't out is driving me insane. I was literally reading it last night in bed, and I was just like, how is this real? How did it just end like this? How is she allowed to do this? Oh, I need the next book now. That's really bugging me. Apart from that though, I really don't have many complaints. I feel like everything else about it was really good. I feel like the second one was a little bit better for me. I just felt like there was a little bit more tension, and I feel like the slow burn was a little bit too slow burn in this one, or there wasn't as much like tension in this one. And in the last one, I loved like the chemistry between the two, and just like, I don't know, there's just so much banter between the two, and I feel like in this one that like died off a little bit. Definitely recommend this series. Like, something about her writing, just it grips you, and it makes you so excited to read her books. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, it just makes you so excited to pick up her books. So for now, we have completed that series until the next one comes out, which will be the final book in the series. I don't know how long it's going to be. Anyway, for another little reading update, I have gotten quite a good amount into Escaping from Houdini. Very much say I am really, really enjoying this one, so much more than the last book. I don't know what it is about one setting, and like nobody can escape that setting, and it's like you've only got to like, and it's like a whodunit kind of mystery. Those are my favorites. Like, you know, Knives Out, that's kind of what it's giving, but we're on a ship with magicians. It's like Now You See Me with Knives Out. That's the best way I can describe this book, and I am loving it, except we're set in the 1800s. So there's definitely, like, it talks about promenading and being a chaperone and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun. Like, it's just fun. It's such a fun series. And the mystery in this one is really good so far. I feel like that's what the last one was lacking a little bit. I kind of just didn't feel as like intrigued about everything as I did in the first book, but then this book is definitely kind of bringing me back. I feel like now that we know the characters really well as well, it you just kind of can get straight into the plot, honestly. I am 162 pages in, so not quite halfway through. I will get a bit more into it tonight. Hopefully I'll read like another 100 pages or something. That would be amazing. So I can finish this quite quickly. After my last book, like, this feels like a breeze. And I'm just really enjoying it. I definitely think it was good for me to pick up a thriller. That's for sure. I have a little update for you. It is the next morning. I'm about to make a nice matcha for the morning. Thought we could talk as I make it about my book. So I am just over halfway through. I did read quite a lot more last night, and then I read a little bit this morning when I got up. So far, I'm really liking it, and I do have some thoughts. The main thing I really like about this story so far is that our writer always integrates like something true into the story. So like the last one was Jack the Ripper. Then from then it was Prince Dracula, and now it's Houdini. So obviously Houdini is like a famous magician, obviously, and it's really interesting, and like some of the facts about him as a person are true, and I just find that really interesting to read about. So we kind of have two main magicians, I would say. We have Mephistopheles and Houdini. I'm like 230 pages in, so I feel like a bit has happened, but not heaps has happened, but it's also a YA novel, so like it doesn't take forever for things to happen, if you know what I mean. I will say the only thing that is kind of annoying me is our main protagonist. I feel like she's just, I don't know, just being a little bit, I'm like, why are you doing that? You know, in those kind of situations, and you're like, really? So it kind of is making me a little bit irritated, but apart from that, it's very fun, and I'm hopefully going to finish it today. I've got a lot of the day to be able to read. Also, this is my matcha recipe I use every single day. I put coconut water in my matcha as like the base instead of milk, and it gives it like a really nice kind of sweetness, whilst also like coconut water is great for you, like electrolytes, all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing it for like the past few months and absolutely love it. Anyway, those are kind of my thoughts at the moment. I'm not doing a good job of keeping up with the mystery, I'll say that. I'm kind of more intrigued about our characters and stuff. Probably could be doing a little bit of a better job, but apart from that, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna go keep reading now. I finished Escaping from Houdini. I am so glad I finished. Like, I just binged that book. It was so good. I think my favorite from the series so far, if I'm gonna be honest, like I loved the vibes about it. I loved like getting stuck on a ship. The plot twist at the end definitely got me as well. Like, as I said, I was kind of so caught up in like the whole vibes and the characters that we were talking about that I kind of almost forgot about like that I should be solving a mystery whilst I'm reading it. But so yeah, the twist caught me off guard. It was very much out of the blue. But honestly, I really liked it. I feel like this is just such an underrated series. Like, I feel like so many people need to read this series. I'm so excited to read the fourth one. If you didn't know, when I actually bought the series in the first place, I bought that one first, not knowing that it was part of a series, just because that one sounded most intriguing to me. I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. I thought they were just like all books by the same author and not part of a series, because it didn't have like part of a series on the spine. I think I'm gonna go with a 4.5 stars for this one. It was just really fast paced, really quick. It didn't give me like that 5-star feel by any means, but it was just really fun, fast paced, good characters. As I said, cannot wait to continue the series. I feel like the only thing is the main protagonist kind of annoyed me a little bit. I don't know, her little situations were kind of annoying me towards the end, and I was like, kind of get a handle on yourself. She did redeem herself towards the end, thank God. Come on, Mace. Hi. She definitely redeemed herself in the end. Oh, hi, May. But like, she was getting on my nerves a lot. Seems to be a common trend with this video. But apart from that, I really enjoyed it. It was just a fun, easy read. Highly recommend it. Especially if you like the naturals, like anything by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, I feel like you'll really like this. Really fun. And I think that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching it. If you've made it to the end of the video, please comment a fairy emoji so I know that you made it to the end. Like, when I see that fairy emoji, I've been doing it now and then in my videos, and when I see a little fairy emoji pop up, it makes my entire day. I'm not even kidding. Like, knowing that you guys actually watched all this way, it puts the biggest smile on my face. So thank you so much. If you did make it all this way, I know that this was a super chatty vlog. I hope you liked that. I hope I didn't bore you too much. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in my next video.